What's this crap?
Was a superhero kid of 1985. I showed no mercy. I was
It's finally Halloween weekend, and this Friday I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Halloween specials. Now, some of these are not going to take place on Halloween. They just normally air around Halloween or whatever, or I kind of watch them on Halloween. Just a couple of them, though. Some are going to be classics, some are not. But, hey, it's Halloween. I'm going to fucking enjoy the shit out of this. Let's get things started, and let's start listing this shit. Let's go. Top 10 favorite Halloween specials of all time. Let's hit it.
Fidel Castro.
Sigmund Freud.
Number 10 is Room Full of Heroes from Frasier. This one is a pretty decent Halloween one. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest TV special Halloween episode ever, but it kind of dives into, well, Martin's psyche. Throughout Frasier, Martin, the father of Frasier, has been living with Frasier for almost 10 or 9 years at this point. And decidedly, one of his other sons, Niles, the younger brother to Frasier, has a strong admirability and fascination for his dad that he dresses up as his dad for Halloween. The idea of this one is to dress as your hero. That's what Frasier's plan is. Frasier is dressed as Sigmund Freud, and then finally we have his younger brother Niles dressing up as Martin himself. What I like about this episode is kind of unique. Niles, makes an ass of himself by imitating Martin a little too much, and Martin has an explosion of anger at him, telling him that he was always proud of his boys, and always on his boys' side no matter what, despite that they didn't get into sports or anything. Both Niles and Frasier's was more into symphonies or the fine arts stuff. They were not sport nuts. However, Martin was a big baseball player, loved beer, loved to have a hot dog, and he was a police officer. He is definitely one of the most interesting characters out of Frasier, in my opinion, but still, it's a really heartfelt episode. And honestly, John Mahoney's performance and Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce's performance all just balance so well off each other. I just love the symbolism involved in this episode. It's just so wholesome and heartfelt. Yeah, it's just your average Halloween episode, and Frasier getting his ass handed to him a bunch of times by everyone else, but that's pretty much the joke of Frasier. Basically, it's just great. As Joe Bob Briggs says, 4 stars, check it out.
Ooh, I am a high-priced Washington lobbyist peddling influence. Who wants candy? Drink!
Next we have the King of the Hill Happy Halloween special. I was originally going to put the episode with Michael Keaton on, the pig episode where Michael Keaton dies violently at the very end, but I felt it was too dark of an episode for King of the Hill. And don't get me wrong, I love dark episodes, and I love King of the Hill, and I love that episode. But this one was one I saw throughout childhood a lot. I didn't get to see the episode with Michael Keaton until I was maybe 17 when it was on Netflix. However, this one is just a quintessential episode. It's pretty good. Basically, Bobby is trying not to have Halloween in a regular format, and Hank, of course, is trying his best to tell him that it's okay to have Halloween. This crazy preacher lady named Junie Harper is going around and trying to cancel Halloween. It's pretty much like an early cancel culture going around here. Oh god. It's pretty much your average episode of King of the Hill, and it does have the quota of being solved by the end of the episode, but I do like the way it was solved. Hank puts on his costume, ironically his devil costume from when he was a kid, and he goes around and shouting trick or treat. Luann, at the point of this episode, is brainwashed by Junie Harper, saying that she thinks Halloween is the devil's holiday. You know how those religious nuts are. Can't enjoy Halloween. Anyhow, it's pretty much Luann finally grasps her sanity, and she trick-or-treats with them, and they get Bobby to join up in the very end. It's a classic Halloween episode, and personally, I just enjoy it. It's one of the ones that I have to pop in and watch every year.
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. It's Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and the gang in an all-new feature-length animated movie.
Ghost pirates, ghost.
So, has anyone ever noticed that Scooby-Doo isn't scary? Like, it's supposed to be built up for, like, Halloween and stuff. So, in 1998, Warner Brothers decided to have an answer for that shit. They brought out Scooby-Doo on fucking Zombie Island and made it terrifying. Some of these effects I watched when I was only 7 years old, and it scared the living fucking shit out of me. But yet, it was awesome! Oh man, my favorite part is where they're being chased through the entire run of the island by the zombies while that heavy metal Terror Time Again theme plays. Oh man, it's just Scooby-Doo at its best. I've always been a Scooby-Doo fan since I was a little kid. And it seems a lot of people like the Witch's Ghost because of the Hex Girls, but screw that shit. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is like the best of the freaking best. I mean, it could scare any little kid. Hell, I brought it to my first grade class, the tape that I had, that my mom had bought me, and it scared some of the classmates, and the effects in this, it all just feels so epic. There is a lot to say about this one, and it's just well done. The animation is another step up. This is a straight direct-to-video movie, and it just doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's just got something there. You could tell they put some serious friggin' effort into the atmosphere, to the island. Everything around it looks great. Hell, even the voice work is just friggin' fantastic. Mark Hamill's in it, for God's sake. Mark freaking Hamill! Cam Clark, friggin' everybody's in it. Billy West, oh man. And of course, the awesome Frank Welker is in this too, and it's just a great fucking film. I have to put it on every year. It's nostalgia, yeah, but I absolutely love it, and I would never trade it for anything. It's worthy of the number 8 spot. Let's move on.
Oh, you didn't tell me you were gonna kill it.
Okay. Talking about nostalgia got me to think about It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And honestly, who hasn't seen this movie? Hell, even little kids today are watching this film. It's just an epic, groundbreaking film. I watch it every year too. I put it on every year and just enjoy it. It's the nostalgia that really kind of just packs it in. Yeah, the drawing and animation doesn't look anything spectacular or anything like that, but there's still some effort put in, and it's just something I like to watch with the fam every now and then. I used to watch it with my mom every year, and now I watch it with just about anyone that wants to watch it with me. It's not a perfect movie by any means. It's not scary or groundbreaking or anything like that, but it's a fun watch. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it, but I seriously doubt anyone watching this video has not seen this special. It is just nostalgia love here. Let's go on.
Just give your bacon and eggs sausage. Polly, go get me some sausage!
Talk about shit on a shoestring budget that is a very, very blatant ripoff of other Disney movies is The Scarecrow. Oh my god. Okay, there is a reason why I have this on the list and why it's at the number that it's at. My little sister and I watch this every year just to insult it and make fun of it because of how terrible it actually is. I mean, this is like the biggest Disney ripoff there is, and it got the voice talents of even bigger Disney ripoffs. I mean, hell, Feldman is in this movie as a talking mouse. Okay, I'll do the story. It's basically about this scarecrow that wants to be human because he fell in love with a chick and he wears a hat that makes him human and it involves dancing. It's just what the fuck am I watching kind of thing. It's seriously that all sort of fucked up. There is nothing in this that makes sense. It's like if The Room, Tommy Wiseau's The Room, decided to be animated, or he decided to be an animator, and he started writing these asinine stories out of nowhere. But it's funny. I laugh at it the whole way fucking through. It's amazingly bad on how awful this movie is, and yet every time I put it on, I just watch it. I mean, here's the thing. A tap dancing scarecrow is not the weirdest thing in this movie. I swear to God, the humans are weirder than the fucking animals and the inanimate objects. Oh Lord. This was Disney ripping off this... Oh god, this was WB ripping off Disney in the worst way possible. I mean, the main character actually sounds like he's doing an Aladdin imitation voice. It's that bad. Feldman sounds like I can't explain it, but he's doing a really thick Jewish accent while he's playing Max the Mouse. And the character's name is Max the Mouse. How do you not rip... you know what, just don't take my word for it. Just check the damn thing out. Just watch it. It's on YouTube for free. Just watch it. You won't be able to believe what you're seeing. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on.
Whoa! I'm Nachos.
Now we made it to the higher-ups. And, of course, it's got to be Beavis and Butthead's Halloween special. This special is easily one of my favorite specials of all time, and I absolutely love it. I watch it every year. It's awesome. This was actually one of the very first adult cartoon Halloween specials that I ever watched. One of the first. It's not the first. And I gotta say, I just love it. Beavis dressing up as a Nad, so he puts underwear on his head. Butthead pouring hot cheese on himself as nachos, and it even has a gruesome ending. Beavis actually becomes Cornholio here. He wakes up out of his coma and is about to be sawed to death. I mean, it's a very fucking gruesome episode. And look at that. Another Mike Judge cartoon made it on my list. Isn't it great? Anyhow, this is definitely one that I never skip on seeing. It's probably Beavis and Butthead's best Halloween special yet. That's what I pretty much have to say. I mean, it's not the greatest Halloween special in the world. And we're going to get to that greatest Halloween special really soon. But anyhow, yeah, this one is just a fun watch. You want to see Beavis and Butthead get their ass off the couch and do something fun with some cool music videos in it, by the way, like fucking Alice Cooper and shit? Yeah, go check this out. This is one of the coolest specials ever. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it yet.
No more interference.
Hold on, Pip, don't move.
You've had your fun, boy. Don't touch that.
Now I'm on to, well, personally, one of my favorite Halloween specials of all time. That does take me back to my childhood in such a glorious way. The Halloween Tree is probably one of the most beautiful things Warner Brothers has ever done. Yes, the animation doesn't look that great, and it's probably on the average scale of story-wise, but, well, nostalgia does play a very huge factor in this movie for me, and I could list a few reasons why. For one, when I was a little kid, my brother and I owned this on the VHS tape, and we would constantly watch this. I then passed it on to, well, my sister, and we started making a thing of watching it at least every October. It's a very special series. It's about a boy named Pip who gets sent to the hospital, but yet him and his friends don't believe he's actually sick, and they try to find Pip while they come across a ghoulish-looking man named Clavicle Monshroud, who is after Pip for a special reason. We don't know if the guy is a Grim Reaper or what, but he sees that Pip's pumpkin, which I believe is his soul, is what he's after, and I believe Pip was supposed to die that day. However, the children make a special deal with Monshroud, and that's not what makes this a great special. You actually get to be taken across into several different time periods and learn the significance of Halloween. That is awesome. And of course, guess who does the voice of Mr. Monshroud? This bald, creepy looking man with a pointy nose. Leonard Nimoy! Yeah, Master Xehanort is voicing this guy, or Spock. And it's hard to believe that you can actually hear him saying words like ornery critters or that pumpkin is mine now. It's just kind of cool, in my opinion. And really, it's a special that does get me teary-eyed around the end. It's a wonderful little tale. I love this special, not just for the nostalgia factor, but just because it's a good story in general. The voice acting is really well done. Everything just falls so beautifully into place. I love it. I love Halloween, and Halloween Tree captures everything that I love about Halloween. It's not all just about costumes. There is a history to it. And Halloween Tree takes you on to that history. Give it a watch before Halloween gets here, if you haven't seen it yet. You won't be disappointed.
Dad, try to calm down, Cully Beth. Those aren't my eyes. Where are my eyes?
Next is another classic thing to watch throughout the years of my childhood. The Haunted Mask from the Goosebumps. Not only is it one of the best Halloween things ever, it is the best Goosebumps story of all freaking time. I watch it every year. I love this special. I had it back on VHS back in the day, you know, when dinosaurs roamed the land, and my brother and I used to watch this one constantly. We'd watch it through the summer, but on Halloween, we'd turn all the lights off, we'd pop this fucker in, and we would just watch the shit out of it. We'd keep it on rewind. I mean, I absolutely fell in love with this special. And to this day, it is my favorite Goosebumps special of all time. I just love everything about it. The story is really interesting. A girl named Carly Beth, who is constantly the victim of being pranked, scared, and bullied, finally decides to buy a mask. And the mask happens to cling to her face. And it turns out it's not just any mask. It is a mask of the man that used to own it. It was his face that deformed. But since Carly Beth wanted the mask wants to attach itself to her face. And she starts becoming more evil and more animalistic and more devilish, I guess would be the good term for it. So much so that she can't get the mask off, it becomes part of her soul. And of course, in every 90s kids show fashion, the good-heartedness is what breaks the spell. This is Goosebumps at its very best. There's some effects in here that I didn't care for, like the talking silhouette head or whatever that thing was. But other than that, everything else here is just a solid win. Yeah, it's nostalgia playing a huge factor on this list, and this is no exception. This is awesome. I passed it on to my little sister, and seriously, it is just a wonderful freaking episode of Goosebumps. It's the best episode of Goosebumps there ever was. I just could never get enough of this one. I watch it every year, and I have to make it a point to watch it. I never miss this one, and this is a Goosebumps special that no one should skip over. Let's move on to number 2.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe it was doing this that caused the previous caretakers to go insane and murder their families?
Perhaps. Tell you what, we come back and everyone's slaughtered, I owe you a Coke.
Well, we knew that the Treehouse of Horror 5, The Shinnin', was going to be on this list, but did you think it was going to be that high? I originally, when I was making this video, I was going to do my Halloween special as the top 10 favorite Simpsons Treehouse of Horror moments, but I already knew what number 1 was going to be, The Shinnin', and that's on everybody's list, everyone's list, and I've got to say, is it worth it? A parody of The Shining? Yeah, it's worth it. It hits parody perfectly. Everything is quotable and memorable in here. The animation is just excellent. You can see why so many people put this on their number one list of Treehouse of Horror episodes or Simpson episodes in general. It is The Simpsons at their absolute grossest, goriest, and ghouliest when it comes to the Treehouse of Horror specials. I absolutely love this one to pieces. And I've got to just say, it's definitely worthy of the praise that it gets. I just can't get enough of it. Basically, it's the plot of The Shining. Homer's stuck with his family and has to stay in this hotel with everybody together. And there's no TV, no beer, and Homer starts to lose his mind. And it's just great. Just pretty much no beer, no TV, and that's all it takes for him to lose his fucking mind. Well, that's how it works in the minds of all Americans, let me tell you that much for sure. Take my TV away, we've got problems. Take my beer away, we've got bigger problems. I'm just kidding, but still. It's just a fantastic episode. Every single scene has either met with laughter or met with something that is just uniquely great. And it's only like an 8-minute short. It doesn't feel like it's that long. Hell, I think it might be 6 minutes tops. And it's just 6 minutes of Simpsons perfection. I'm not one to really go into detail on a perfect episode of The Simpsons, but when you want something that hits you with all the laughs and all the glory and everything else, this is one you should look for. And it's on the best holiday of the entire year, Halloween. So if you haven't seen it, and I highly doubt there's very few people that haven't seen this special, give it a shot. It is easily worth your time. It is probably the best 6 to 7 minutes of your life you'll ever get, and you'll absolutely love it. But with this being number 2, what could be number 1? Well, it's not a surprise. So start rubbing your eyes, because here we go.
Make love, even when I'm dead. My body might get cold, but it's always hot in my bed. Make love, don't you be afraid.
Yep, number 1 is Pink Eye from South Park. When I try to think of a perfect Halloween special, one that is fraught with danger, fear, everything, the characters are fantastic, lovely old style animation, Pink Eye is one of the episodes that I think of, and it's one of the episodes that I really fucking love. It's not just the best Halloween special ever, it is the best episode of South Park ever. I love this one to freaking pieces. No other adult cartoon has done Halloween any better than this one has. Oh man, it's great. Basically, Kenny gets killed, and that's the start of the episode, but instead of staying dead, he comes back to life as a zombie, and he bites people, and turns them all into zombies. It's fucking awesome. Of course, he never bites Cartman or anything. What's weird is some of the most memorable things is on here. Holy shit, I mean, there are some really fucked up shit on this one. But it's all funny, and it beats out natural comedic funny moments. The zombie apocalypse is awesome. I mean, this is definitely a parody of Night of the Living Dead, and I just love it for that. And Kenny as the lead zombie is just great here. This is just a Halloween adventure that I just love to sit back, prop my feet up, and just watch. Hell, I even watch it when it's not Halloween, but I double watch it when it is. This was the very first adult cartoon Halloween special I ever got to see. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old when I watched this, and I was just enamored in it. I absolutely fucking loved it. And I love the fact that it's just Worcestershire sauce that got pumped into Kenny's embalming fluid that made him a zombie. Is Worcestershire sauce that nasty? I think it makes everything taste just so English, if you ask me. Anyhow, it's just awesome. I've often read that Matt Stone and Trey Parker actually hate the first 3 seasons of South Park, but my opinion, I think that's their best seasons. Yeah, the animation is a little choppy, but it still is some of their best seasons. And Pink Eye is their greatest masterpiece episode. I just love that it's a pandemic of pink eye, pretty much. Anyhow, that's it for this list. That's it. This is worthy of being number one, and I'm sticking with it. So that was my top 10 favorite Halloween specials. Is any of your favorites on here? Let me know in the comments. And also, happy Halloween, everybody. Always remember, I'm spooky.